Hi, hello, good afternoon. So myself Shivin. So this is our second episode. So today we will be focusing on DevOps CI/CD, and in today's session we will do a sample Node.js project using GitHub Action. Okay. So let's see the disclaimer. So I'm not reading end-to-end disclaimer. I will pause for a moment so you can read and understand. Okay, so let's move on to the agenda for today. So today's 30 minutes discussion, we have split into the introduction about DevOps because for understanding CI/CD, so we have to understand the basic principles of DevOps. Secondly, we will see GitHub Action. So as I mentioned, today's CI/CD workflow, we will be doing a tool called GitHub Actions. And third, we will have a sample demo project. So it's an end-to-end project where you will see like a normal use case that has been happening on IT, on a core software company, like when a changes or patches has been introduced by a development team, how it goes to different stages, what are the different types of testings, how it gets deployed to a dev environment, the various testing environments, and then it finally reaches to the production after the build is successful, right? So that will be a demo. And finally, as usual, we do have Q&A and few suggestions. Okay, so let's see what DevOps is. So as you all know, DevOps is a culture, right? It's a principles that helps to build the software development team much more easier. It's a combination with the development activities like dev team, and as well as on the other hand, we do have ops team, right? So these two combinations of together team members join together to form DevOps, right? Okay, so it's basically a collaboration. So a collaboration and communication with various stakeholders. So it helps to do a lot of automation tasks. Automation means whatever task we are doing on a day-to-day manual, it helps to do automation. So that is one of the key KPIs for DevOps team. Secondly, Dharani, could you please be in mute?
Sorry.
Okay. Thirdly, the main, the keys elements or in a DevOps role, one of the main item which a DevOps engineer need to do is implementing CI/CD, right? The CI/CD means continuous integration, and CD means continuous delivery or deployment. So what CI means, continuous integration means, as a team, there will be many members in the team will be there. So they may be working on different topics. We can call it as different Scrum team, right? So one of the team will be handling the workspace. Some of them working on analytics like front end, back end, or chat. So these are the different Scrum teams that is available on the organization, right? So this all Scrum teams combination makes the product. So CI means continuously. The development team is building the activities, bug code, new patches, new releases. They take the items from their backlog. So they do continuously, integrating to the main source code. So that is what we call CI. Okay. So when we deal about continuous DCD, CD means continuous delivery or deployment. So there is a difference. That's why two terms come, right? So the main difference is continuous delivery means the development team that already developed will be tested, okay, and that will be ready to deployment. We are not deployed to any of the environment as of now to the production now. So the continuous deployment means normally startups, they are using continuous deployment because they want to ship the product much faster to the market. So what they do is they do the checking, they do commits, all the testings, everything has been done through the pipeline. Okay. Once it is good to go, once they got the green color, same time, the same day, maybe they will do the deployment also. So that is called continuous deployment, right? And the next point is, let me move my screen. Okay. Like infrastructure as a code. So as you know, people are waiting in the lobby. Okay. Okay, the fourth point is infrastructure as a code. So normally the DevOps engineer is the responsibility to build the infrastructure as a piece of code. So in earlier days, we do the system admins and network admins, right? So they have to deal with a lot of physical devices like cables, connections, routers, switches. They have to give the permissions, ACLs, and everything. So nowadays, all the physical environments it is there in the cloud, which is managed by a vendor, but the role shifted from the physical access to the infrastructure data centers moved to the code level, which means that we can convert the subnet or the ACLs and everything has been written in a code, and we can easily commit this into a Git repo. So the advantage is we can easily replicate to another environment. Say, for example, we have created a development environment or we have created a production environment. The customer want to introduce a DR in another region. So using the IAC tools, we can easily convert the existing production environment into DR. So the time to market will be very easy. And the second last one is like monitoring and logging. So nowadays we call this SRE team. So they focus mainly on APM observabilities, logging, solutions, etc. And finally, a feedback loop. So this is very important for DevOps because this is a culture. So wherever in all phases of the DevOps environment, there is a feedback loop. So this helps the team to do more better tasks on next day, on next sprint. So normally we call it as retrospective, right? So what are things we do better, how we can do much more better in next day. Okay, so when I talk about DevOps, I have to share this screen because this is something like all, when we talk about DevOps, this screen or this diagram comes to our mind, right? So this is a continuous cycle, as you can see, starting from plan. So we do the plan on agile methodology or sprint, and then we create it. Once we have created, we will do the testings. Once testing has been passed, we go to package and then release, then configure, monitor, and again goes to planning. So this is the continuous cycle. So the development teams take care about building the software, creating the software, codings, packaging, and release engineer will, or means ops will take care of the release configurations of infrastructure, configuration of your web server MySQL, means on your application side, right? And introducing the monitorings like logging, Grafana, Graphite, or APM solutions, so traces. So these are the main activities of ops team. So DevOps is a culture that combines of development and operation teams. Okay, so once we understood the DevOps, so one of the core tasks, because even though if you go to any organization having the DevOps role, you have to touch on the CICD. So you have no other option like that. So CICD is a must for all the interviews, and also for this role, CICD is a must. So today I will introduce GitHub Actions, right? So this is a tool, like we know Jenkins is another tool, right? So I will come to that Jenkins online after stage. So we all know that we use Git as a source control, right? So source control helps to manage, multiple files or same files with the multiple members can easily, work on that, right? So Git is one of a source version control system. So the Git introduces a CI/CD platform that helps to automate the software development. That is called GitHub Actions. Okay, so it's very easy. So normally the startup organizations or organizations who are using their source code on Git, this will be an easy task for them. It's easy to create the pipelines and everything. Okay, so GitHub provides free runners. So basically, for you as a hobby project or something, or you want to understand how the GitHub Actions work, you can easily sign up for a Git. They will provide X hours of runners free per month. And if you have more security concern, like I want my source code not to go into Git runners and all, I have my own service. So I want to run the CI/CD process inside my infrastructure. Then we can have a self-hosted runners also. So this is the main high-level idea about GitHub Actions. So today's demo is basically on GitHub Actions. So before jump to demo, I want to be familiarized with some of the few components of GitHub Actions. The first one is workflow. So workflow is nothing. It's an automated process that is defined in the YAML file. So I will show you that. So we have to define something, right? We have to what we need to do on CI phases. What are the steps need to do on CD phases? So that we call workflow. And second one is events. Events are something like when we need to trigger the build. Okay. So say for example, when there is a new commit happen to one of the branch, we have to do some set of actions. So that is called event. Sometimes it will be a merge request, right? So when a merge request comes from any branch to development branch or maybe a production branch, we have to execute some actions. That is called events. The third one is job. Jobs are a series steps about what we need to do. For example, download the source code. That is one job. So we need to install npm. We have to run npm install. So that may be another job. So that is called jobs. Jobs are small steps that can be done on workflow. Okay. So actions are reusable code that is mainly provided by GitHub Actions. So that is one of the beauty of GitHub Actions. You don't need to much worry about coding. I know so most of the DevOps engineers, they come from ops background, from operational background. So they may not be very much good on OOPS concept. They may not be a software developer. So by seeing the YAML files, like a long YAML files, they may feel that, yeah, I cannot do that. But actually, that is a misconception. So in this demo, I will show how easy it is. So basically, the GitHubs provide a lot of actions for you. So you can just click the actions and the code of lines and YAML files will be generated. And from there, you can able to easily enhance or optimize to make it work in your environment. And runners are, as I said, in these machines, we are running the CICD process. So these are the different components of GitHub Actions. Okay, so now I would like to take a few minutes about Jenkins, because most of the DevOps engineers, they do have experience on Jenkins. So I'm not here a debate like saying that Jenkins is good or GitHub Action is good. So basically, it depends on the organization need. So when you study DevOps, so don't study tools basically. So you have to understand the concept behind that. Say for example, infrastructure as a code. So you need to understand what it makes, what is the benefit, how we can able to do that. So tools are different things like CloudFormations, Terraform. So these are the different tools for IAC, right? So basic underlying concepts are everything same, but there should be some policies, like for example, destroy before run, life cycle policies of Terraform. So there are many concepts behind the infrastructure as a code, right? So you have to understand that how you do. The rest of the things, the code, syntax, and everything will take place. So what I going to tell is like based on the organization's need, the DevOps tools will be different. So you may be good in Ansible, but the organization is using Chef, right? So in that case, the decision comes from the top level management of the organization, mainly because of the easiness of the softwares they are using, or they already invested a lot of trainings to the team members, or the skills of the team members. So this are the main major reasons for choosing a tool on DevOps. So next is the demo. So sample project. So the sample project is basically on a Node.js project. Okay. So what I will do is I will open my VS Code. Okay. So I will navigate through the project details. So basically 2 main files, we have to understand what it is. And I will try to make some changes. So it will trigger the CI/CD pipeline. So in the pipeline, I put 2 main test cases. One is linding, second one is Mocha. So basically on a startup environment or an infrastructure or a company environment. So basically there will be a QA team. So this QA team will be developing the test cases basically for you. So your role is to integrate this into your pipeline, right? But again, linding are all just like a easy configuration steps, which we can also do. And testing, and if all good, we'll go into deployment. So that is what we will be doing today. So let me change my screen. So, okay, this is the public IP, and this is running on port 4000 for the demo purpose. I'm not having any HTTPS or reverse proxy, nothing. So this is just only one application where it display hello world DevOps. So this is the code base. Okay. So Kavya is one of my colleague. So she helped me to build this environment. So basically you can see for the first step. So what I will do is I will share the source code for you in our WhatsApp group. So you can run it in your personal GitHub. So if you feel any issues, just let me know. The reason for not making this public, because I have some secrets related to deployment of the server, and some secret environment variables has been defined. Okay. So first thing first, so you have to create a folder structure called GitHub. Inside that GitHub, we have one more folder called workflow. So this is the first step. So in all Git repo, you can able to create this folder structure. Okay. So once you create the folder structure, you will be having this space. And here I have created a YAML file. So you can name this YAML file as you wish. So here it is deploy.yaml. Okay. So what it does is, as I said, this is the workflow. This is the name, right? So inside that we do have different events. We have different jobs, right? So you can see the name is deploy application. Okay. The event is on push, which are the branches main and v1, or a pull request on branch main. So this is the event. Okay. Jobs, these are the different jobs which I have mentioned. So you can see runner. So that's run on Ubuntu latest. So this machine is provided by GitHub Action. So what are the steps inside that? I need to check out the code. I have to set up Node.js. I have to install the dependencies. And these are the different tests. Once test all done, deploy. Okay. Then notify. Validation are just making sure everything is good. If validation is good, it will send an email. So instead of sending an email, you can push this result, this build result to your ChatOps tools like Slack or MS Teams like that. Okay. So here you can see another button, actions, right? So whenever there is a GitHub action executed, that result will be published over here. Okay. So before I jump to this one, I will show you the new workflow. As I mentioned, creating the GitHub actions are very easy. Say, for example, these are the suggested for this repo. Automatically, GitHub will give you some suggestions, or you can search workflow over here. So if I want to configure a Docker image from here, just click on this. You can see all the source codes and everything will become over here. You can make sure all the changes from the marketplace can able to add the documentation of the corresponding code piece have it populated over here. So this is very quite easy. So basically, even though the first time when we see, it should be looks very long, but it's a very easy one to configure. Okay, so merge request, what it do is, this is the stages. It will do some testing. As I mentioned, ES lending and Mocha testing has been done. Then it will deploy. Once all good, it will deploy, then validation and notify, right? So let me take my Visual Studio. So my repo is updated. So I have downloaded the source code. So let me introduce you the code also. So basically nothing much. So here I have created some API as well. So for this demo purpose, we using this API only for Mocha test, because Mocha test will check the source code whether the expected outputs are same or not. So basically the sample.js is the sample.js is the main code. So here you can see the array. Just ignore this. This is for the API purpose only. And here you can see when I call slash endpoint, you can see hello world DevOps. So this is what you can see over here, right? Okay. So when I come to my Visual source code, so I just make sure that I am in same branch main. Okay, that also good. So here you can see we do have, I think 5 branches. Yeah, 5 branches. So we have main, dev, Docker, v1 and v2. These are the 5 branches. So I check out the main branch over here. Okay. So now I just start the Node.js application locally, and you can see it's running on localhost 4000. So I'm just make sure that the source code which I have in my local is correct. Okay. So I got a requirement, as you know, the DevOps cycle starting from planning, right? So as a requirement from my manager saying that I have to make some modifications on the application. So for instance, I want to make like DevOps, Oracle Cloud or DevOps CICD, something like that I need to add. So what I will do is I will come here, I just stop the instance, and I will be adding the text over here, CICD. Okay. So before making changes, so what we need to do is, so I have to create my branch. So normally what the developers will be doing that they have to create their own branch, right? So I will be using git checkout -b demo. So git branch, it will show that I am in demo branch. So I have created my demo branch in my local machine. So now I'm going to start making the changes in the source code, right? So I make some changes over here. So I do CICD, save it. Okay. So now what I will do is I have to test it, right? So I have to build this, then I have to test it. So here I will show you how the Mocha test will catch the result if there is any error. So I have to install, actually this step is not needed, but normally we will do the install and npm test. So this should be able to fail because as I said earlier, for this demo purpose, I introduced Mocha for test in the pipeline. So I want to show you how it fails. So I have to make sure how to edit here also, because this is something like it will check the expected value is the same like as we need. So that is mainly using for Mocha framework. So I just make few edits over here. Okay. Then I will run the test pass. Okay. Doing the lending test, sorry, npm run lend. Okay, two testers has been successfully completed on my local machine. So now I understand that my application, whatever code changes, testing all fine. So it's a responsibility of the development team to make sure that everything is correct locally before I push to the come to the Teams branch. Okay, so you can see on the local host, there is new changes has been happened. On the production, still in the older version, right? So I am pretty much confident that my code has been working and I do all the testings and everything. So in big organizations, what they do is they barely do this test based on the production build as well. So not only me working on one project, right? There will be 200 people, 500 developers will be working on a product. So I want to make sure that my changes will not impact any of the other team members, other team members issues, not making issue. So basically what they do is they dynamically bring up a new environment and they will accumulate my changes on the on the doc branch or the main branch code, and they do the testing and make sure that all good before I raise a merge request. Okay, so now I work on my branch like demo. Okay, the branch you can see it's on demo branch. So I have to add. So basically I git add, git commit -m added a comment added demo CICD. Okay. So now in Visual Studio, what I will do is I will publish these changes. So I develop on my local machine and I publish these changes. And I come here on the GitHub Actions. You can see the demo branch has been recently in 2 seconds back. Now you can see here, you should see, let me refresh. You can see new branch. Earlier it was 5, now there is 6 branch. Okay, so that is the main responsibility of a developer. So development team should be able to do the testing. Normally they will attach, the proof saying that all tests are everything is good on my local machine, and then they do the request. So if I am a lead, I make sure that there will be a Scrum demo during the particular time. So the developer who make the changes will do the demo, sprint demo. So basically in the sprint demo, we'll execute what all the things and everything done. And the team lead will check the source code and everything is all good. So then what they do is they do the they approve the approved, all good, approved. So from demo to main branch. So this has to be done by the developer. So they have to raise a pull request. So then demo branch going to main branch. Okay, so once the pull request has been there, you can see checking the GitHub, checking the compatibilities and everything. And here you can see the GitHub Actions start. It will do the testing. So when I go here, you can see a orange color with my demo, and you can see it start running. So in this stage, it will do only the testing. It will not do any deployment and validate. Actually, we can have a scope for improve this pipeline into a better one. So you can see it run all the test cases. You can see the results over here, what it is. If there is any error, you should be able to see this error, and it will not go to the next stage of CICD process. So you can see all the informations over here. And as a team lead, I will come here and I can see all green means all good, and I will approve this merge request. Okay, I confirm, and based on my organization policy, I can delete, or maybe I can retain this. For this demo purpose, I just deleted the demo branch. And here you can see merge request has been happening. So here again, this testing has been done. Actually, we need to remove. So we can separate the CI and CD into two different YAML files. And on this stage, we can do only the deployment and validation plus notifications. So now you can see it's moving to deploy. So it will add the SSH host key, because this is a dynamic machine, the runner machine that is getting from the GitHub Actions. So the deploy process will be completed in a few minutes. So now validation. So validation makes sure that all the stages in the pipeline correct. So after that, notify. There is right now it's an email confirmation about the build and checkouts and all the details, who did the build, etc. So once this has been done, you can see here, this is our production site. So here you should be able to see that changes has been accumulated. So this is something like an end-to-end, CICD workflow. So I will share the source code over in our WhatsApp group. So you can try it out in your personal repository. And that's it for the demo. And coming back to our presentation, so I want to show you the next programs. So this month, most probably by last of August, I'm planning to show you one consolidated CloudKit. So basically, as you know, there are n number of public cloud providers available, right? So how an organization can able to manage multiple clouds very easy. So CloudKit is something like a desktop application in which you can able to easily manage or easily access your VMs, can easily understand the cloud spend. It's like a FinOps tools. So where your organization spending money on the cloud. So is there is any kind of automation like scheduled start stop? Sometimes one VM you have you can need to up only in the morning 9 a.m. and you can shut down during the evening times. So basically it's a toolkit having different more options, more than what I said options available. So I will give an introduction about that. And then there will be an automation about QA, because CICD will not be complete without a QA team. So from my experience, the DevOps team should closely work with QA and security teams. Obviously, development team will be there, but other than that, QA and security teams are one of them. And then we will have a session about Oracle database, because you may heard about Oracle 23 AI and all. So one of my colleague who is working in Oracle will be taking this session. And finally, there will be an interview with Jerin. So he is one of my friend. So he is basically a DevOps engineer handling Azure and AWS. So first time he got a chance to work on Oracle OCI. So we will see how he can able to accommodate the changes on the OCI infrastructure, or as a person who have experience on Azure and AWS, how he can fast accommodate the DevOps principles and DevOps tools that is provided by Oracle. So that's it for today. I think we have 5 more minutes. So any questions or suggestions, more welcome. So all good?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, sure.
Any expectations like this is something like you before you join the session, this is something like you expect, or you want to me to look on say any specific portions or any specific areas?
Actually, we expected the same because we need the hands-on experience, and I think we can follow the things.
Okay. So this video is recorded, so I will be uploading and share the link. So along that, I will give the source code also, or maybe on one-to-one also, you can ask me the source code, whoever need. So my request is just try it in our person, because there is no cost. Again, this you should need a VM for deployment. But again, I believe CI, AWS all providing a free VMs, right? So just for the matter of few hours only you need. So just try and let me know if there is any issues you facing or something. I'm happy to help. Okay. So once you run this, you can able to add more stages. So you can increase the stages, number of stages, or you can able to optimize the current pipeline. So that is other main task for a DevOps engineer in the organizations. So when you join to one company, they may already have a CICD pipeline. So you may not get a chance to start from the scratch. So what you need to do is you have to do the optimization. So that is what I face in one of my employer. So they already have an CICD pipeline, so they want to reduce the build time. So it is a multi repo project. So not only one repo that is accommodating this all source code. So basically there are so many challenges will be there. So how you overcome? So this kind of things you will get only from hands-on experience. So start small. From there you try to add more, add more layers on top of it. So the given one is a single CICD, deployment.yaml file. So there is already an issue. Issue means there is a scope for improvement. So you can come and take the source code which I have given. Try to first step, make sure everything is working good. Once all good, you try to improve the current workflow. Okay. So we have only 2 more minutes. Any questions? If no questions, can wind up today.
Okay. No questions.
Okay, thanks, Annie. Yeah. So thank you all for spending 30 minutes with me. So stay tuned.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, stay tuned
Thank
for
you, Shivin.
new things. Yeah. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.